this unit, we talked about the use of the present subjunctive with conjunctions. We have two separate groups of conjunctions. The first group always requires the use of the subjunctive. We use the acronym escapa a to help us to remember what those conjunctions are. Whenever we use en caso de que, sin que, con tal de que, a condición de que, para que, a menos que, and antes de que in a sentence, we're going to use the subjunctive following that conjunction. The reason is because all of those present a situation in which there is a chance that the action may or may not happen. Just keep in mind that with sin que, para que, and antes de que, if we do not have a change in subject, we would not use the que, and we would therefore use the infinitive. So for example, I am going to Spain in order to learn Spanish. I am going to Spain so that I learn Spanish. My subject has not changed. So we would say, voy a España para aprender español. Whereas if I said, my family and I are going to Spain so that I can practice, the subject changes from my family and I to I. In that case, we would use the subjunctive. Mi familia y yo vamos a España para que yo pueda practicar el español. In the second group, or the second acronym, we have Camelot. The conjunctions that are part of Camelot, cuando, aunque, mientras, en cuanto, luego que, and tan pronto como, those are going to use the subjunctive as long as we have a future reference in the sentence. Same thing with HD3, hasta que, después de que, de modo que, and de manera que. With a future reference, it can be anything from the future to what you're going to do, ir plus a plus infinitive, or any verb-verb construction, like I hope to, espero, or I should, using deber, or I need, using necesitar, or I want, using querer. So there are many other ways to express the future rather than just the true future tense. In this first example, you can see that all of these are going to be using the subjunctive because those all have conjunctions that are part of the escapa a acronym. In the second group of sentences, you have to decide, is it subjunctive or is it indicative? If we have a habitual action where we show that something happens regularly, we would use the indicative because then it would be a fact. And remember, with facts, we use indicative. Whereas if there's a future reference, there's a chance that the action may not take place. If you look at the first one, I will call you as soon as I arrive. Well, there's a chance that the action may not take place. Our future reference is te llamaré. So we use the subjunctive after the conjunction. Whereas if we look at the third example, siempre means always. He always tells me everything as soon as he hears the news. Because of by saying always, it is a fact, therefore we use the indicative, escucha. And same thing with this final group. You can see again, in the first example, we have a future reference, vamos a esperar, so we use the subjunctive. Whereas in the next two examples, we have siempre, which shows habit, as well as todos los días. And in that sentence, those sentences, we use the indicative.